Ooh, clear skies, almost, from our A camera out in Ridgefield. Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Mother-daughter relationships are so complex and diverse. So today we have tips for increasing that connection. We welcome back to the show licensed therapist Kristen Genzano is with us. Welcome back, Kristen.
Hi, thanks. It's great to be here.
So what is going on with these mother-daughter relationships? Why do they need attention?
Oh my gosh, it's such a great question. So I specialize in working with mothers and adult daughters because there's so much possibility for connection and deep understanding, like a really beautiful relationship, but then these complicated factors come up because we have like 20 to 30 years of history and everything is changing in that time, going from being a mother of a little child to this adult woman. And so how do both people kind of navigate that, those changes?
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have a really great relationship with my mom, but I know a lot of my girlfriends who don't. And I often say, like, I ask them, when did that start? Like, is there some kind of event or is it a buildup of things over the years, or what do you see in your practice?
Yeah, well, I think like most things in therapy, it depends, but some of the trends that I see are moments of transition. So when daughters are getting married, when they're graduating from college, when they're having children of their own, these are points where the relationship has potential to really open up and change, or to really kind of crumble and fall apart.
Do you think it's mainly because maybe like mom doesn't approve, or?
Sometimes mom doesn't approve. Sometimes there's just misunderstanding, like mom wants something different for daughter than daughter wants for herself, or the daughter sometimes thinks mom wants something different, but they're just not communicating about it.
Yeah, see, that's probably the root of it, right?
Yes.
So thankfully you have some tips to help out some of these mothers and daughters who are struggling.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the tips I recommend to the clients I see is, first and foremost, remember that you're two separate women. You're two separate people. It's so easy to think that, you know, that connection, because it can be so strong, it's easy to forget that these are two separate people, different dreams and hopes and aspirations. So that's one tip that I often recommend. Another thing is to commit to open communication. So really listening to your mom, listening to your daughter, and learning who she is as a woman today. It might not be the same person she was.
That's key. Yeah, because like you said, we do change.
Yes.
But that commitment to listening, that's not as easy as it sounds.
No, it's sure not, because we anticipate, we know what our loved ones are going to say. We've heard it time and time again, right? So it's really challenging to say, you know, I'm going to actually sit back, open myself up with compassionate heart and open ears, and really listen to what mom or daughter has to say about this.
Ooh-wee. That takes some practice.
It sure does.
Takes some practice.
Yes.
Okay, what else do you have for us?
So another thing I recommend is setting boundaries around hashing up old stuff. So it's easy, right? Like there's 20, 30 years of stuff that's gone on between a mother and a daughter, and it's so easy to, every time you're together, kind of bring that up again and talk about old pains. So that's important stuff. That's important work too, but really essential, I would say, that you set parameters around, okay, we're going to talk about this over dinner, and then after that we're going to have some fun. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to do something enjoyable, so it doesn't overtake the relationship.
So is that something that you have to set up prior to, so that everybody has the same expectation?
Absolutely. You definitely want to make sure that's discussed beforehand and everybody's on the same page.
So I like how you said after you have maybe a discussion that might be a little difficult to have, that then you go and purposely go do something fun together.
Yes, exactly, because we don't want to get stuck in that past relationship. We want to remember that there's opportunities to create new memories and new moments of connection. And one of the tips that I recommend on this point is to do something that you both enjoy.
Okay. How do you figure that out if you've been having issues for 30 years?
I know. So then it goes all the way back to communication. So, it's being open to trying something different, to saying, well, we've never, you know, I don't know, gone for ice cream together. What mom or daughter probably hasn't, but we've never done this. So let's try that together. Or let's try, you know, watching a new TV show together, something that's new and different, or try something that the other person really enjoys and be open to a new experience in that way.
Yeah, I think that's important too, because I think it goes a long way when you want to share in someone else's joys.
Yes.
That may not be yours, and you never know, you might discover a new hobby that you like or something.
Right, exactly.
Right? Okay,
yes.
I like that. I like the way this is going. I'm feeling encouraged for some folks.
Good.
What about like taking a genuine interest in the other person?
Yeah.
Not just the getting to know part, Because that's one thing.
Right, that's really important because, again, like I was mentioning earlier, there can often be these assumptions that we know what the other person is thinking, right? When you have this long-standing relationship. So it's important to approach it remembering that you're getting, it's an opportunity to make deeper connection because you're staying open to what's happening for the person right now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
No, it does. But so how long can this process take? It's not an overnight thing. You don't just say, okay, this is what, this is what Kristen was telling us to do, Mom, or whatever. So we're going to do this and we're going to be fine by Mother's Day.
Right. No, probably not. Definitely not this Mother's Day.
Let's set realistic expectations.
Right, exactly. Again, it depends. It depends on how much history and maybe hurt there is in the relationship. It can take years. It can take therapy to really work through some of that stuff.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if it's just kind of, you feel like you're sort of stunted, you're kind of doing the same things over and over again, and the relationship isn't as deep as you'd like it to be, if you do a couple of these things, you really can change that dynamic.
Well, that's really helpful. I think a lot of people are going to start today.
I hope so.
That'd be a great thing,
I
right?
hope so, yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Some really great tips. We're going to have more of these tips and information about Kristen on our website for you at KATU.com. Coming up next, Kara is with the Bulls' Danny Dwyer to discuss the latest on what happened on American Idol. Ooh, we'll be right back.